Hey YouTube, what's going on? Abyssalwave here, and finally, the first installment of the Insane DPS series for Frost DKs and Tomb of Sargeras. We are on Goroth, so for this fight, I did use Horn of Winter as a different variant. However, everything else is the same, murder sufficiency. Then I had Horn of Winter, Hungry Rune Weapon. Winter is coming, but you can run whatever. Permafrost, again, you can run really whatever. Gathering Storm, and Breath of Cinder Ghost. And I'll go through the rest as we're doing the countdown starting now. I also ran for Trinkets, Cradle of Anguish, Convergence of Fates, and for legendaries, I ran Cold Heart and Seal of Necrophantasia. So on pull, pop our pre-pot, we go in, use our Cold Heart I'm waiting till I get a couple stacks of Razor Ice, so it's actually useful, and then you're going to see me use it right there. As I pop my Pillar, you definitely want to wait until you have a couple Razor Ice stacks and your Pillar is up before you do use your Cold Heart, and sometimes you can actually get a nice Unholy Strength or Concordance proc to pair up with that. So that's definitely something you want to look out for. And also, I did use Cinder Ghost's Fury a little bit early. I probably should have waited until I had the Razor Ice stacks. That's my bad. I could have pumped out a little bit more damage. This was an 87 percentile. It's nothing crazy. However, my gear is very poorly optimized, and I don't get fed relics because my main this tier is Unholy. So as you can see, I'm actually popping Horn of Winter before I pop my first Hungering. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because I can have a second Horn of Winter before my second Hungering Rune Weapon, whereas I wouldn't be able to do that if I popped Hungering first, and that would be kind of a waste overall. However, it didn't really matter because we have to hop behind the Pillar there, and I couldn't keep my Hungering up. That's okay, though, because I had a 52-second Hungering with Horn of Winter, which is pretty good. It's nothing crazy, but I'm very happy with that. So right there's my second Pillar, my buffed Pillar. What we're going to do with this is we're going to try to get as much benefit out of it as possible with the Cold Heart. So I'm going to try to get as high stacks as possible, and then I'm just going to lay in with every kind of rotation. I'm just maintaining a decent amount of runic power, and I'm making sure that I use Horn of Winter whenever I can. Now, the reason I'm dumping my obliterates as fast as possible, I'm just spamming my keys, I'm just hitting as fast as I can, is because I want to maximize my Horn of Winter. I'm not running Freezing Fog for this, and I do, however, have one Howling Blast relic. So if you do have a couple Howling Blast relics, Freezing Fog does become better, but the reason that I'm running Horn of Winter on this fight is because it can save your life if you have breath up and you have to hide behind a pillar. It can absolutely save your life, save your breath, and it can lead to more damage in a fight like this. You'll see a lot of people on Goroth running it, but then you go to the other fights and you see it less and less, and you think, why are they fucking running it on Goroth if they're not going to run Horn of Winter on anything else? Well, it's because of the saving your breath behind a pillar shenanigans that Horn of Winter does all for us. So every time I'm using Horn of Winter before I do anything else, and you kind of want to save it until you're low on everything, especially because Horn of Winter not only offers you runic power, but it offers you runes as well, so you can use an obliterate right after you use it if you're empty on runes. But right here, I'm getting into my next Hungry Rune Weapon. Now, this is a decently buffed Pillar. We have 8 stacks. I think we went in with 8 stacks. I'm not quite sure how buffed this Pillar is. What does it say up there? I don't even see. So really just I'm able to get an incredibly strong breath off this. And I think I got only 2 Cinder Ghost's Furies. I didn't get a third one. And we don't kill the boss crazy fast. We're not a top guild. But we kill it in about, I think, a little bit over 3 minutes, maybe closer to 4 minutes. I really don't know. I'm not quite sure about that. I think it was actually like 440 or something, believe it or not. So in this fight, I did end up at around 1.1, which is not crazy. But then again, for very poorly optimized gear and playing Frost, when I don't normally play Frost, I'm very happy with that. So I get my buffed Pillar, I get an Unholy Strength proc, I use my Cinder Ghost's Fury there. It did a ton of damage there. I think it did like 7.5 or some crazy fucking number. It was awesome. I'm very happy about that. But really for this fight, what you want to do is you just want to maintain as much uptime on the boss as possible. You get Crashing Comet and your raid leader calls to do it on a Pillar. You trust the other people to do that kind of mechanics. Mechanics are for the range. They're not for the melee. If you get a mechanic, you just, you put that on someone else. Now here, I was told that our front pillar was going to break, and I don't want to die, because if I die, I do 0 DPS, so I go to the back pillar. But I probably shouldn't have trusted my raid leader there, because it didn't fucking do that, so that kind of sucks for me. But, you know, whatever, I lost 2 seconds. That could have been the difference between 1.1 and 1.11 or something. I don't know what I actually ended up at, but right here, I'm in my next pillar. Not next pillar, I'm in my next breath. So I'm just laying into the boss here. I haven't used my Horn of Winter yet. I probably should use my Horn of Winter first. That's a mistake on my part, of course, because I told you guys to use your Hungry Rune weapon or your Horn of Winter first, and I didn't do that. So there were some fuck-ups in here, of course, but I'm very happy with the result. 1.02 mil DPS, which ended up as an 87th percentile with very shit gear, so I'm happy about that. And I hope you guys enjoyed and found the video useful. Of course, more Frost DK guides are coming, and I also will be doing the Unholy DK for Sisters later, probably tomorrow. So look out for that if you just want to see it. Regardless, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.